It's not a bird, it's not a plane, it's Superhero Slate. It's a weekly podcast where we talk about everything that's great. Like movies, TV, superheroes. It's Superhero Slate. Oh yeah.
Oh, we love TV, movies, and superheroes. So let's talk it all out. My name is I wasn't ready for a Christmas themed. Is there like a Mike or a Michael? I mean, I know Michael is kind of like biblical, isn't it? I'm the Michael, the angel that was played by oh, what's his name? I already forgot his name. Battlefield Earth. John Travolta. Yes, I am. I know it's the most I would say it's the most has the most lines in his Wikipedia page. It's gotta be about that movie. Mhm. Yeah, this was, you didn't know the Game Awards were happening. I didn't know the Game Awards were happening. Well, I knew the second that you I knew the second that you text, like, "Game Awards," 8 exclamation, marks. Interesting strategy to come in at the end of the year, but I guess if you're doing, like, a Game of the Year style awards, I guess it makes sense to do it at the end of the year, right? Mhm. Well, what was the game of the year this year? I don't even know. Man, you can tell I'm out of touch. I have literally never heard of that game before, even once. What's its like what's its, like, unique selling proposition? I mean, I'm sure, like, a good RPG can be fun, but does it have, like, some sort of, like, X factor to it that I'm not, like, thinking of? The game follows the volunteers of Expedition 33 as they set out to destroy the Paintress, being causing the yearly Gomage, which erases those at or above an ever decreasing age. Yeah, that sounds crazy. Yeah, maybe it's the story seems to be the unique selling factor, which I love single player campaigns. So, oh, I was looking for a list of winners, and I came across a Reddit post of, like, complete list of winners, and the top comment was, "Complete list of winners, Claire Obscura, Expedition 33." No, I guess you're right. Mm-mm. It's like a it's like a mobile game or something? Oh, okay. Mhm. Yes, if I'm lucky, yeah. Yeah, it's also we are recording 12 days from the holiday, and so, a lot of the high-end elevated advent calendars have activated today, or really any brand that has, like, not a lot of variety. Like, I know Red Bull has an advent calendar, but, like, they don't even have 12 flavors. I think they can get close if they include, like, the variations of, like, 0 sugar or, like, no sugar or whatever. Yeah, friend of the show, Quentin Parker, he, started a beer advent calendar today. We the best advent calendar, I think we're gonna do this every year now. It's been a knockout of the park. I can't think of the brand name off the top of my head, but their jars in the grocery store are iconic. It's a jelly jam company, and they have, like, an advent calendar, so you open up this tiny, tiny little baby jar every day of a different flavor of jam, but I'm almost certain that all of these jams are exclusive to the advent calendar. Because if you go to the grocery store, there's, like, maybe 6 at most different flavors of jam, and they got 25 all unique, total different flavors, and they're all out there and pretty wild, so, I think we're gonna get this one every year. It ain't cheap, but it's been fun. Mhm. Yeah, we had the Simpsons advent calendar, and we used to do the Lego ones in the past too, but it's always the same, like, we've gotten at least, like, 2 Harry Potter Lego advent calendars before, and, you're kind of just getting, like, the same stuff every year, even if they slightly change the minifig, so I was like, I need, like, a different, like, Lego advent calendar. I need a different IP to come up with, like, 25 different little things." See, this is what Amazon should actually do this, like custom advent calendars where they kind of like they look at your shopping history. They kind of create some sort of like algorithm of like, they have the size and dimensions of like yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it sounds like they got a little bit of a franchise going now. They've injected it with a little bit of heat. It seems kinda weird, I'm sure there's a lot of, collectors and other people that their brain is, like, itching in the wrong way of just like, "No, you're doing great." Every time, like, a logical 28 time span would come up, you'd make a movie, and now it's just like, "We hit 28 years, let's just make a whole bunch of movies." It's just like it's not like we were expecting, like, 28 centuries, but I don't know, 28 fortnights or something? I don't know. Is it for some reason, the name Danny is coming to my head, is that right? Ah, there we go. Was Eric A was Eric Andre up there? Yeah. Yeah, they beat the car. Yeah, when we talked about the casting, like, earlier on in the year, it just kind of, like, felt like a strategic, like, Moneyball situation of, like, how do we get the most actors in a movie to round out the cast, but not just obliterate our budget? Like, I've seen people, like, photoshopping, like, "Oh, no, M. Bison should have been, like, John Cena." It's like, they can't afford John Cena. They won't even be able to flesh out, like, all of the characters because 'cause they're gonna use all their money on him. So I kind of like this strategy, and, the trailer feels, like, very kinetic because I feel like the hardest thing about adapting fighting games is, like, there's, like, no world in which, like, you can create, like, street fights, in a logical sense of the term, like, there's definitely, like, underground, like, fighting happening across the world, but, like, they're in, like, little dark, basements, Ye yeah. Yeah, exactly. So you can't really make it work, but it seems like they're kind of building like a hyperalized world here where maybe like, a bunch of people like fighting, and punching up a car, well, you just go along for the ride because it looks like really fun. Mhm. Uh, oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm clicking through the trailer right now and that literally just happened when you said it. Yeah, it seems like we got a little bit of a theme going in today's episode where we're, like, just getting Momoa teased. Yeah, they're even leading into the retro aesthetic, like, I'm going frame by frame at the last part where they're breaking down the car, and there's a timer in the background that is just totally, like, 8-bit, like, projected on the wall back there. Maybe he develops, like, I mean, he's like a villain, maybe he takes some sort of serum at some point in the movie, and then he gets all yoked or something, like, that would be kinda cool. Yeah. Speaking speaking of these shots, there is, like, a disturbing trend that I'm starting to notice just now, and this is, like, my 2nd sample here, and I'm not saying this is bleeding itself into the filmmaking, it's more of the marketing, but when the live action Moana trailer came out a couple weeks ago, I saw somebody in the comments say they put everything of visual interest directly in the middle of the frame, and then that's when the conspiracy started that, oh, all of these trailers are being, when they're cut horizontally, are putting everything in the middle so they can easily cut them down for like vertical social media sharing. And when you like, if you go back and like watch this trailer, literally all of the things that you're supposed to look at are directly in the middle of the frame. You can just like imagine like the vertical crop already, and you hardly have to do any like editing after that. So, I can't turn it off now, I can't unsee it, so it's just kind of making the trailer feel, like, not really cinematic, it almost weirdly feels like AI generated. Because 'cause I've seen people say that before, like, "Why does this trailer look AI generated?" It's because everything's in the middle of the frame, and a lot of the shots are just kind of either, like truck ins or truck outs, so, yeah, it's kinda making me go a little bit crazy, but, all of the stuff looks cool either way, so I'm still excited for the movie. You just need 50 Cent's, letter M hairline. I mean, it looks fun. Uh I don't really know a whole lot about the character of Supergirl, so I feel like a lot of the questions I have already been answered, and I can easily Google them. I saw some people's response online saying that, "Oh, this seems to be lining up pretty much with, I think it was Woman of Tomorrow." So I don't know if there's like a yeah, I don't know if there's like that if that's a recent story arc or more of a classic one. So it seems like okay, it seems like I can go find my answers, but, like, I just have, like, very basic ones, and this is just gonna happen with all DC stuff moving forward because I'm just not super familiar with that universe of just, like, how does Supergirl have powers when she's not near the Earth's sun? So, I'm kind of curious to see how they explain that. Looks like we're gonna get a little bit of backstory of what happened to Krypton, and that's pretty interesting. That seems to be, like, rife for kind of, like, interpretation. I feel like there's been lots of different, like, ways to show Krypton briefly, or that sci-fi show, on the Sci-Fi Network did it more in length. So it seems like you can kind of have some fun creative license for the downfall of a whole planet. So we're gonna get a little bit of that. It looks like the character looks great. The suit looks awesome. Uh, it was fun when she picked up that gigantic axe and shoved the guy into the wall with it. I was like, okay, this is awesome. She's got the power. She's ready to rock and roll. There seems to be another character along for the ride. She's got some sort of sword or machete, so that looks like it'll be like some fun dynamics there. Yeah, I have a lot of questions. We have a brief shot of Lobo. I was surprised that they held back. hmm Yeah, I'm curious. I like because we talked about previously how is like kind of Gun and Saffron gonna shape what the galaxy, the universe looks like in DC, and try to contrast it maybe a little bit more with Marvel. So I tried to pull some parts out of that. Like there is a moment where you kind of see her waiting at like it looks like almost an intergalactic bus stop. I kind of like that idea. It kind of makes maybe the universe outside of Earth feel a little bit like more normal, right? Kind of like in the vein of like when you look at Star Wars, oh, people like just hop on ships and they fly around and there's like all of these like interdimensional like travel lanes and there's trade and everything. It like feels very like rooted and whereas maybe the Marvel MCU, even though it's like populated out there, it still feels pretty separated. It kind of feels like a whole planet can exist just like Earth and not know maybe there's other stuff going on out there. Like I'm thinking of in the Marvels when they had to go like save that like whole planet of people and they were like struggling to do it because they couldn't get off their own planet. So maybe that's going to be the kind of difference of the DC universe of like, oh, it's rife with life out there a little bit more than the MCU was. Ooh, yeah, bubbling it up. Mhm. It is really funny. This is one of those situations where I've already seen people putting PSAs out there that this movie isn't directed by James Gunn. There's even a giant splash screen in the trailer that shows who the director. It's a different director this time around, but like his style is so distinct, and also the whole reboot of this universe has only been touched by Gunn really so far. So yeah, it doesn't feel very different yet. So I'm curious where we'll see like the flares. Mhm. I think that would be I mean, that would be cool. I mean, you kind of have these characters that, have these literally superhuman Superman abilities. I mean, he could get out there in space pretty quickly if he needed to. I think we could if somebody, really wanted to, I think you could go back a couple episodes, and I think I think I even, like, said this, like, verbatim. The first look at Lanterns we'll see in a montage of new HBO shows coming up this year. And we don't really get I hate it when they do that, though, like, they don't really give us anything that we really wanna see. Like, obviously, we know these actors are in the movie and they stand in front of a camera. I guess the exciting part is seeing the ring and then they jump out of it's weird for me, I only ever call him Coach because that he will be Coach forever due to Friday Night Lights. It's so funny seeing him doing anything athletic. I'm just so used to him, like, just standing and, like, yelling at high school kids, so seeing him jump out of a car is, like, very jarring for me, but pretty fun to watch. Yeah. Yeah. I feel like Brad Pitt is, like, locked down by Apple right now after the success of F1, and I think he had, like, did he do, like, some sort of, like, cop movie or something on there? I don't know, but he seems like the type that I guess, yeah, he was briefly. I was about to say he doesn't seem like the type to join, a franchise, but I guess technically, yes, Deadpool was a franchise, so that is, an asterisk you can put in his Wikipedia. But yeah, 2 male villains plus Scarlett Johansson swirling around this. I mean, this is what you do in sequels. You up the ante, you add more villains, so I guess this is par for the course. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, like, it seems like if they're looking to cast more villains, I would assume Penguin's coming back. I mean, he had that award-winning television show, and he was a standout in the first movie. It seems like he would reappear in some way. So yeah, looks like we're gonna. That's true. I mean, So there's actually a lot more. I feel like there's a lot more to pull from in the second movie than we thought. I mean, we've already been kind of confirmed that we're going to see a villain that we really haven't seen yet. So maybe they're kind of maybe this is like a bit of a long strategy. Maybe by the time we get to the third movie, which I feel like Reeves, the way he's kind of building this universe, it feels like, oh, we're going to do three in a route here. And it feels like Gunn and Safran are also maybe incentivized to be like, "Oh, no, I think that's a good idea," because they wanna bring in their own Batman and stuff. So if this is, like, gonna be, like, a true trilogy, maybe we'll have, like, a pretty robust rogues gallery by the time we get to the 3rd movie, you know? Introduce a couple new one in this one, have a couple in the last one, and Batman's gonna be, he's gonna be a punch fest for him. Mhm, mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I love it when I get to see pictures of, like, dashboards of projectionists because it's just stuff we don't normally get to see. Um, this trailer is gonna be really interesting, right? Because when we were waiting for that Endgame trailer or even the Infinity War trailer, like, we were so, like, hyped. We're just like, "Yes, finally, it's all leading to Thanos." You know, we get to see it. Now with Doomsday, it's almost just like, how are they gonna get me excited again? You know, it feels like Doomsday is almost has a problem to solve where, the last 2 Avengers movies didn't really have a problem to solve. It had almost like a story to wrap up in a way. Um, so I am curious. I guess if this is locked behind a key, it means we're not gonna get the trailer a couple days before Avatar drops or a week before, like we were hoping. So you're gonna actually have to go see this movie, but I'm gonna be traveling for the holidays, so I'm not gonna have a chance to do it. So it begs the question, how long into the release of Avatar do we finally get to see a trailer? You know, are they gonna wait just until the weekend is out, you know, get people in there for the first opening weekend, get your big numbers up, and then Monday comes along, you know, and they drop the trailer? Well, yeah, and if yeah, and if it's just slight variations, like, what's the point here? Are they just doing, like just like A/B testing, you know? Are they just doing, like, slight different variations to the trailer to see which ones react the most? But how do you gauge the reaction of people in seats at a theater, you know? Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought, like, maybe AMC would have a variation, Cinemark, Regal, okay. Oh. Well, if I had to guess, we know this cast is flush and long. We've seen literally the row of chairs. I would think each trailer focuses on a different group of the cast. You're probably getting the same story beats, the same narrative of like, what Doom is there to do or not do or, mysteriously menacing in his particular way. But, you get Hemsworth in one trailer, you get, so and so in another trailer, you get Namor in one, but you get Captain America and another. I would guess that they would do it based on chunking the cast out into 4 different casts, and then maybe after those 4 weeks, they release, like, a big mega trailer with them all in it. Mhm. Maybe maybe they're waiting to see how much of this leaks, right? If enough cleanish versions of the trailer start to go viral online, they're probably gonna be like, "Okay, maybe we need to put the official ones out." Or maybe they'll just put them out, like, a week after, maybe after the weekend, we'll get the official trailer published on their YouTube channel, right? And the next one will drop in theaters. Yeah, so we'll still get to watch them, but we just won't we'll be a couple days behind. Mhm. 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 This has been such a weird media cycle. Usually at the end of the year, everything calms down, but now we have like this huge release of, more than likely $1 billion movie here in December. And then all of these trailers like hovering around it, it's like usually like we're kind of ready to like turn the podcast down at the end of the year and come back in January and like look forward. It's like, no, we're like really headed into the end of the year with a lot of heat. I mean, I guess, you got a little bit of synergy there. If you have other Marvel trailers coming out, you'll have Spider-Man there as well. But it almost feels like there's too much competition, right? If truly 4 Doomsday trailers are about to drop, it seems like if you're Spider-Man, like, why don't you wait until the Super Bowl, you know? Probably not, even though I wanna see it. I think that's great. I mean, when I think about music and Spider I think of the music from the Spider-Man game. Uh, Great music in that game, and I would love that, you know, to feel something, like, kind of, like, more original when you're watching, like, a Spider-Man movie. Love the music in Fantastic Four. It reminds me, like, "Oh, yeah, I can just log on to Disney Plus whenever I want, and I can go watch Fantastic Four." Probably gonna have to do that. Mm, yeah, we might well, actually, the iPad is gonna be full of, Miss Rachel, our first time taking a fully functioning toddler on a plane, and, I think we're gonna need all the help that we can get from our little, overall blue shirt friend. I mean, pink shirt friend. Oh gosh. I mean, I put that color, e-ink tablet on my Amazon wish list. I don't think anybody got it for me, but I'm like, this is the perfect style of gift for me. Where like I'm not gonna spend my own money to get like an e-ink colored screen. But if somebody got it for me, yeah, I'll definitely go find some comic books and some manga and throw it on there. Yeah, it was on. Let me check my wish list because we're yeah, it's back up to 190 now, but technically Amazon claims the retail price is 250. So this thing is still technically on sale right now. But what you gotta yeah, what you gotta do, folks, is you gotta go to you can't trust, Amazon's, price history because that tool is just there to convince you not to go to camel.com, which is the tool that everybody needs. So let's go camel.com. The lowest price that this thing hit was 169, yeah, so 170 Black Friday is the cheapest thing that this got. Oh. Oh, I don't wirelessly charge my phone. I don't wirelessly charge anything in my life, so I don't need to start. Mhm. Do you have any recommend where could I see this in person if I wanted to see it in person? Is there any like, I don't think any there isn't I think there's an Amazon store actually. Is it the Galleria? Glendale Galleria, Amazon store. I think I've only been in there once. The Galleria? Yeah, or is it the Americana? Oh. Oh, maybe I could just go into a Best Buy then. Yeah, I'd love to see it in person and, like, feel it and feel the weight of it. Yeah. Yeah. Also, as much as I love I'm sure there are other solutions out there, but, like, I am a man with a child approaching 40 years old. I don't have the time to, like, jailbreak things and, like, go to aftermarket, like, stores and put on different apps for ebooks, like, I would enjoy the convenience of just, like, I'm sure this thing is, like, running probably some sort of version of, like, Android, but, like, I never get to see it, and then there's just, like, a preloaded Kindle app, that's all I need. I will just straight up buy the stuff I need from the Kindle store if I need to. Mhm, mhm. Oh, yeah. Mhm. Uh, which which is actually kind of odd because if the Daredevil universe is still canon from Netflix, theoretically, this would be the same hand that we saw in his show. Yeah, I guess that's true. It's been so long since I've seen the hand and because I think Colleen Wing, what she like she was running around with the hand. I feel like the last time they were portrayed on screen, and wasn't she like doing was it I thought Wing was in there. I don't know. But yeah, maybe this will be their time to like rehab the hand. Man, Spider-Man fighting a ninja would be like really, really cool. Like those would be very distinct styles of fighting that would be fun to watch. Yes, exactly. Mhm. No, I haven't. Mhm. Mhm. Chris, I already saw this early this year in Eyes of Wakanda, when we got to see, how Wakanda dealt with, dealt with the Trojan horse. So I know all I need to know, that's all I need to know about Yeah, James Cameron, I guess he's on his media circuit right now, and somebody asked him about the frame rate of Fire and Ash, and, I think the interviewer said something like, "Oh, some people are worried and about the high frame rate and they don't like it or something." And he responded and he was just like, "I don't care. I like it." Like that was the end of the question. And I was like, "Oh, I love that." Like there is something to say about just somebody with conviction. Either way, if it's harmless conviction, right? There are definitely some yeah, exactly, but just like a filmmaker with, like, some conviction, just like, "No, I like it, and so far, I've made these last 2 movies exactly how I liked them, so we're just gonna keep doing that," and I love the chutzpah there, so I'm still I'm wavering here, Chris. I very much wanna fly back home, after the holidays, get my big old gigantic IMAX, probably $100 ticket to go see Avatar in IMAX. But there's a part of me that's just like, that's just so much work. I forgot I was subscribed to the Cinemark Movie Club. They've just been getting like $10 for me like every month or something. So I'm building up all of these like ticket credits I forget that I have. I was like, I need to use these. So I don't know what to do. Oh, you're saying in the Hoosier state, I think. Oh boy. Dude, that's a bargain compared to out here, but, um, yeah, IMAX tickets are so expensive, but this is the thing. This is the type of movie where people they don't look at it as like, like a normal movie-going experience. Like, the Avatar movies are truly an event, and I feel like that should be appreciated on some level. Also, I get so irritated, like, every time one of these movies, kick back up in the media cycle, and then everyone says, you can't name a single character from one of these movies. They make no cultural impact, and it's just like you can't make billions of dollars by making no cultural impact, Like, people wouldn't go to see them if they weren't impactful in some way. I think ubiquitously popular things always bring out the contrarian in people, right? Somebody just always wants to be on the opposite side of something. Uh, yeah. Mhm. Yeah, that was a great. Yeah, Disney seems to have a new investing strategy because to me the Sora OpenAI deal feels a lot like the Fortnite deal, where it's like, they're gonna invest in a chunk of it. Like, we want to own a little bit of it, and then, the flood of Disney characters, really made it into Fortnite. I know they were doing it a little bit beforehand, but now they own a piece of the pie. Kind of feels like the same way with OpenAI, and also I think the deal is only penned for like 3 years. So, after 3 years, they're just like, yeah, we're not really getting anything out of this. We can cut it off, and then they still own a chunk of OpenAI after all that. It's gonna be goofy security footage of him stealing things. I feel like that's the first thing I'm gonna see. Oh, has he confirmed, like, a twist, or are we just assuming there'll be a twist? Okay. Mhm. Uh, there's a, Star Wars racing game coming out. I saw the trailer for that. That looked really cool because I thought it was just gonna be yeah, I thought it was just gonna be pod racing, but I guess it's just kind of like any sort of, like, I guess, hover car, for lack of a better word. So that looks fun. Mm-mm. Yes, that's what we've heard. Uh, ooh. Oh, yeah. You know, we might be seeing a lot more, dedication to video games from any Disney IP in the near future. There had been reports out there that when, prospective new CEOs for Disney were, like, pitching ideas for the future of the company, Josh D'Amaro right now, who's head of parks, and, he was saying, oh, he really wants to lean into, gaming, if he was, the supposed CEO of Disney. So if that's the case, we actually might get an actual, maybe like video game development, section in Disney. Because right now I think they just exclusively license games. And also didn't Warner Brothers games just shut down? So I think like I thought they did, or like they severely like I think they laid off a bunch of people, so maybe it's much smaller now. Mm. Oh, wasn't the like kind of multiversal one? Mm. Bummer. Oh, they can find my web comics at pickledcomics.com and liferewardsrisk.com. Chris, people want to catch up with you. Where can they find you? Yes, all of the goodies. Get your Superhero Slate stocking stuffers over at superheroslate.com. Find us on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Spotify. We got merch at superheroslate.com/store. If you want to be a super fan of this show, it's so easy to do. All you have to do is share the show with a friend, share the show with a buddy. And this is where I normally say we'll be here every week, but we will be taking a break next week. Enjoy the time with your families, and we will see y'all at the end of the year.